Hello, how are you? Okay, I quickly wanted to talk about iPlan. So, I'm Nanda Kumar KV, I'm the founder and CEO of iLead Tax Group. I run a tax academy, iLead Tax Academy, wherein we produce enrolled agents who are like highest America's tax credential owners. So they have unlimited practice rights and you know about it. Okay, so they are enrolled agents and they have unlimited practice rights just like attorneys and CPAs. Okay, so we run an academy and we also have iLead Tax LLC wherein we serve our Indians in USA especially. Of course, we serve everybody, but primarily we serve Indians in USA. And today I wanted to talk about iPlan tax program. And here we will be talking primarily with focus on W2 employees. With W2 employees, okay. So if you are a small business owner, you may recommend this for your team, okay. Or if you are a HR or a compensation benefits director or a finance person or a decision maker or a leader or a manager, you may recommend this for your team, okay. So we call this as the iPlan tax program, and it's highly recommended employee benefits program for people who are on W2, okay. And the cost and all we will talk a bit later, but let's talk the value about it. Fine. So if you are somebody who is focused more on standard return, itemized return and all, and then probably this may not be the right channel where you have to be. And if you are somebody who just needs a tax preparer, okay, and not a tax advisor, so maybe you can just sign out or just move off from here. This is for really serious people who are keen on planning their taxes, okay. So if you understand the language of the books like the rich dads, retire young, retire rich, you're focusing on retirement planning, and you're focusing on planning your taxes, channelizing your tax savings, and not just filing the tax return. So this video is only for those serious people. I repeat, only those serious people, okay. So I wanted to quickly talk about the iPlan tax program here. Now before that, I wanted to emphasize each one of you who is a W2 employee also. I'm reading this book. Of course, I have read the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then Rich Dad's, Robert Kiyosaki's Retire Young, Retire Rich and all. So if you are really keen on optimizing your IRAs, 401ks and the self-directed IRAs and all, probably you should give a reading to these books. Now, if you are a W2 employee, I want you to read this book, right? More important than money. It's again, by Robert Kiyosaki and the Rich Dad Advisors, okay? So in this, I was just going through one of the chapters, chapter 23. I encourage you to buy this book. It doesn't cost you much. So it just costs you like some 500 rupees. So it doesn't cost you much, okay? So it speaks a lot. Especially chapter 23. It's authored by one of the Rich Dad Advisors, Tom Wheelwright, CPA. And he has written a book called, Tax-Free Wealth and How to Build Massive Wealth by Permanently Lowering Your Taxes, okay? So I wanted to ask you, why you want to file a tax return. You must be thinking, okay, this fellow has come up with something new, but why do you file taxes? Have you thought about, why you should be filing taxes? If you file your taxes just for refund, you're at a wrong place. Anybody who follows IRS guidelines, I think they will give you the proper refund, okay? But only a one who can advise you, who can plan you, who can recommend you how to optimize your tax savings and who asks you more questions, he is the person you must be working with. If your tax filer or your tax preparer does not ask you more questions, you are with the wrong tax preparer. I didn't say that. It is told by, Sir Robert Kiyosaki only. So, your tax bill and all, your tax dues and all, it depends a whole lot on the type of tax advisor you choose. You may want to go to online portals. Yeah, if you have been If you are somebody who has been in US for a long time and you know everything, on a 1040, yeah, it's up to you. But there are people who become CPAs, who become enrolled agents, who become attorneys by studying law. I mean, some go way beyond IRS guidelines, right? So I think you can always take their expert opinion too. Like, a king, they say that, a customer is a king. So as a king, you should have ministers. What do you say, right? So in this book, he says, don't worry about what questions you should ask your tax advisor. If you have to ask the questions, then you simply have the wrong advisor. So if you're working with a tax advisor, you should know, is he asking you the right questions? If he's not asking you the right questions, then probably you're in the wrong hands. Okay. So I love this book a lot, especially chapter 23. I want you to give it a read, especially if you're a W2 employee, probably if you're visiting a bookstore, I want you to pick this up. He says, the characteristics of a good tax advisor. Okay, he must be accurate, prepares your tax return as well as advises you on your tax strategy. It's not focused on preparation, advises you on tax strategy, reduces your taxes as he or she prepares your return, and reduces your chances of being audited. I think that's the most important. And he says, you should read this, And Robert Kiyosaki, you know him all. Okay, if you do not know much about it, I would request you to please Google or just type in YouTube. You will get so many of his videos. He clearly says, and I also warn you, never use a tax preparer that isn't also your tax advisor. I read it again. Never use a tax preparer that isn't also your tax advisor. You may otherwise get great advice that is never used and lose out on great tax savings. So having said that, okay, with that little backdrop, I just wanted to quickly walk you through what is this iPlan tax program all about. Okay, we have been officially recommended as trusted tax advisors for some of the major corporates. So we are very thankful to the leadership team, the HR, the finance director, the compensation, benefits head and all. And also to all our beloved clients who put in a word for us. Okay, we are extremely passionate in saving our clients' taxes. Okay, filing returns is a formality. I say that always. Filing return is a formality. Planning the taxes is the real work. Right? Fine. So thank you for joining us today. So here are the top 5 things I wanted to talk to you today. So what is iPlan tax program? What do you get in this iPlan? How can iLead Tax LLC help you, and how much will it cost, and what is the subscription process? Now, foremost, let's quickly understand what is iPlan tax program. Okay. Now here, I just wanted to bring a quote of Alan Greenspan. He says, the number one problem in today's generation and economy is the lack of financial literacy. I mean, who thinks about taxes, right? We are in October, okay, and my team is busy filing the extended tax return. Just in case, you missed filing your tax return, please contact our office. That's our number, 530 Hi iLead. You can also WhatsApp us on 234 Hi iLead. 444 5323, and our team will be more than happy to assist you. Who will talk about taxes except us, and except those who are very serious about their clients? Why do you want to give an interest-free loan to IRS in the form of higher tax withholdings? Even if it is as low as a small amount, why do you want to do that? And putting a $500, in a 529 plan or a child saving plan, it can help you so much for a kid over 10 years, next 15 years, next 20 years. It can do a great deal for you. We all should be financially literate. It's not the education. We must have the financial literacy too. Okay. I'm known for teaching taxes. People say that I teach taxes well. That's why I run an academy in India. And I have students across the world. Thankful to all my dear students. I've trained over 3,000 people in the past. And most of them, they have their own tax firms also. Okay, now here I wanted to quickly bring your attention to what all you can discuss with your tax expert. Okay, now don't expect me to talk on each of the items that I have listed here. I would rather encourage you to watch this video, 7 things to know while filing your form 1040. Yeah, I titled it as 7 things, but I'm sure there are more than 70 things. It's a 1-hour video. So if you're an individual who is on W2, I encourage you to please watch this video and be benefited from it. Okay. Now, coming back to this, what do you discuss with your tax expert? Okay, this is what I want you to discuss. Marriage or maternity or divorce? I mean, what is the filing status that you got to use? I mean, unlike in India, there's not going to be a separated concept. Here you have a married joint filing concept here, right? So if you're a couple, you can file the tax returns together. And if you're high net worth, I mean, highly compensated employee, okay? The definition of highly compensated employee is that if you're somebody earning more than $130,000, you can type in Google, okay, highly compensated employees, okay, even if my competitors or others are watching this, okay, I think it will be a good value session for you, okay. So maybe I give you room for innovation. If somebody else is talking about iPlan, after this video, please know that we were the pioneer in that, okay, very humbly and proudly I want to make that statement, okay. Now, so in US, you have this option, okay, wherein you can file the return jointly or you can file the return separately. So if you are a highly compensated employee, I mean somebody earning more than $130,000, so you may be benefited if you file the return separately. So rather than just picking up some random online somebody who has spent a lot of money on digital marketing, make the ads visible to you, and you try to go with that person because everywhere you see the same thing, I think you may have to, reconsider your decision-making skills. Okay, so here let me quickly draw your attention to, the different areas that you must be talking to our iPlan tax expert. I teach taxes for 150 hours. Just go to our iLead Tax Academy page or just type in Google iLead Tax Academy. You will see the review about us, or go to the LinkedIn page. I'm Nanda Kumar KV on LinkedIn also. You will see the review about us. Okay. So I'm not going to, I love teaching. Okay? It's my passion. Okay? And I love creating employment, creating jobs. Now, and the most importantly in LLC, I love saving taxes. Now, these are the topics, if I have to talk upon this, I'm sure, it's going to go hours together. So I don't want to talk mostly about this, but I just wanted to give you a layer reference, like what are you going to discuss in this iPlan tax program? Okay. So these are the things, I want you to know about. So first thing, if you're married, okay, and if your spouse is due for maternity, or unfortunately you're going through a divorce or something, what is it going to be the tax implication? I mean, the expenditure that you incur in maternity, and just like how I told you, married filing jointly or married filing separately, if you're somebody who has lived in 2 or 3 states, what is it going to be? What are the additional taxes that you may have to pay? All those things, and it's good to plan those things in advance. And then, given the current pandemic, the medical expenses, in case you've gone through corona or any other medical illness, and if you've incurred money on that, how much of that can you claim? Because only the expenses that is in excess of 7.5% of your adjusted gross income, only that can be claimed. So you should know, do you have the right bills? Do those expenses qualify? Because those certain expenses are necessary, they are not all qualified. Okay, so you may talk to our iPlan expert, tax expert, to find out if you qualify to claim those expenses. Next one, the car or home purchase. I mean, your first home, your first car, or if you're exchanging your car and going for a premium car, I mean, especially the hybrid cars and all, just know the benefits out of it. If you're refinancing, or if you're selling your home, I mean, why not talk to a tax expert? I mean, you have a WhatsApp number, you feel like something is boggling your mind, that's it. Chat with our expert and he'll guide you. Next, stock options. I mean, with the people losing jobs and all, the companies are also trying to retain their best talent, because the future belongs to only those people who are prepared for it. What do you say, right? Some of you must be leaders. The future belongs only to those people who are prepared for it. Okay, just like you, how you are going to prepare for your taxes by signing up for iPlan. Okay, now here they are trying to issue stock options, so they may need decision or expert opinion on when to exercise the stock option, when to sell it, or how long should they hold it and all, and also on buying the health insurance, because there is some premium tax credit that you get, and then also on qualified small business stocks or restricted stock units or ISOs, incentive stock options, and what are the tax implications of that. We have clients from, you name any top company, I think we have clients from each one of them. Okay. So next, NRE or NRO accounts. Now even in NRE, NRO accounts also, many a times, they feel that because the interest is exempt here in India, they feel that, the interest is also exempt in the US. No, it doesn't go like that. It's not like that. Next one, the net pay planning through W4. Robert Kiyosaki's, another book, Retire Young, Retire Rich, and also Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He talks about, where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck? So if you're not planning your W4 effectively, obviously, your monthly withholdings are based on the information that you're going to give to your employer. Your employer is not supposed to investigate. Your accounts team also is not supposed to investigate into the details you have submitted. Okay. It is the tax advisor who should be asking you more questions. I mean, coming to a tax advisor after you get your W2, and why do you need him at that point of time? I think you need the person now, between Jan through December. For these 12 months, this is the time you need the tax advisor. I mean, not that time, after you get the W2, then we punch in the numbers into the software and we pop out, give you some fancy numbers as refund. I mean, for me, I'm not happy with that kind of a tax practice. I want to do, something like this. Now, so if you want a proper pay planning, with the pre-tax contribution, the post-tax contributions and all, then probably, you should take an opinion from our iPlan tax expert on how to optimize your tax withholdings. How to make sure, see, whenever you file a tax return, 3 things happen. What is that? You get a refund, you pay taxes, or nothing happens. Right? Why give an interest-free loan to IRS? I hope some IRS officer doesn't watch me here. Now, multi-state tax planning. Okay, now, most of the cases, New York, Delaware, New York, New Jersey, people keep working, right? The Pennsylvania, the East Coast, right? If you've been, working in multiple states, or if you moved from one state to another, given the current, a lot of people are now moving out from California. If you're one of them, how do you plan your taxes? State taxes, federal taxes, okay. What are you going to do with the state taxes? Why not consult us? Next, IRA or 401k distribution. Now, given the current pandemic, many people are making withdrawals from 401k, from their IRA and all, right? So, if you have any questions on that, you can let us know. And then on the health savings account, how they are using their health savings account, their education savings account, their flexible spending account investment, and then what are the limits for 529 plan for their kids. It depends on the state they are residing and the investment advisor they are working with. And then many people, like what our Hrithik Roshan says in Super 30, आपत्ति में आविष्कार पैदा होता है. So even in this pandemic, people who have lost jobs, they're trying to do something new. They're trying to innovate. They're trying to serve. It's not just to do with charity. There are so many entrepreneurial thoughts that's coming to people. So if you're somebody like that, we want to help you. Share your ideas with us. Let's see how we can help you. And if you are somebody who is yet to make a decision, should I be on W2 or 1099, you want to work for somebody as an independent contractor, or as a partner, if you want to start your own business, are you confused? Should you incorporate a LLC, or should you do a S corp? Should you do a partnership or a C corp? I mean, you just read something on the Google, but is that true? Is that authenticated? Okay. So if you have to make a decision between should you be on W2 or a 1099, probably you can just check with us. And then also people moving to India or moving from India to US for the sale of property. In case they are selling some property in India or in the US, how do you transfer those money? The tax implication of sending money from USA to India, India to USA. I mean, what are the tax implications? What are the FEMA regulations that you need to adhere to? What are the IRS guidelines that you need to follow? And then the gift tax implications. How much can you give as gift? I mean, in both the countries, especially because I'm an Indian. Most of our clients have complimented us saying, an Indian for an Indian. Why not you give that caption? So we call this as iPlan. Okay, stop filing yearly and start planning monthly. Okay, so let an Indian plan your taxes properly because he can cover both the geographies, just in case you have anything from India also. Next one, the kids' income. And most of the parents, they invest in the kid's name also, and also in case the kid has some special talent, like we handled I think 2-3 cases like that. We have a client whose kid is a wizard, right? So he wins some tournaments, he wins some prize money, and also what is the tax treatment for such kind of income? Should it be included in the parent's income or should a kid file the return separately? Discuss with us. Then the foreign income exclusion or the credit. I mean, we have many people, who get salary also from India and also from US. Okay, so it's good, you have somebody who takes care of both your taxes, in India and in the US, so that you don't pay any double taxes. I mean, why go to a chartered accountant? Why hire a CPA or a EA? I mean, why not work with somebody who can do both, right? Like iLead. Okay. Next one is the FBAR or FATCA compliance. So when I talk to some people, they do not even know what this is, right? I mean, in case you have more than $10,000 outside of USA, you've got to file a FBR. Of course, it's applicable to US citizens and residents. In case you have more than $50,000 or $75,000 outside of USA, you've got to file a FATCA, right? The Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, and FBAR is called Foreign Bank Accounting Reports. So that you are not somebody who is involved in money laundering cases, black money, all those white collar crimes. And then next one is ITIN application. ITIN. So about SSN. Now for those people whom you can claim on the tax return, it could be your spouse, it could be your dependents, like meaning kids or any other relatives whom you support. If you have to claim them on your tax return, you need to have an SSN or an ITN. Now, because they are not in employment, they do not qualify for SSN. So in those cases, you got to apply for ITN, and there's a paperwork that is involved there. So why not complete all that now, right? Talk to expert. And next, if you're going for some high-level tax planning, like estate tax planning or using your personal home for LLC. Now some people are selling their home also. So now when you sell the home, there is a capital gain sale exclusion that happens to $50,000 or $500,000. Now somebody has to tell you that, right? So you must be thinking, okay, if I sell this, okay, I got to pay taxes. But talk to us, we will tell you that up to $500,000 it is exempt. Now, next one. Setting up a new business entity, right? You heard somewhere? Every entrepreneur, he either begins with a pain or passion, right? He begins with pain or passion, and if you have both, I think you should consult us, right? So setting up a new business entity. So if you want to set up a new business entity, if you're confused, whether to form an LLC or a S Corp, C Corp partnership, or even if you want to start your own tax exempt organization like a trust, or you feel that you have achieved something in life, you want to do a give back to the society, why not do it through a proper tax channel, right? Forming a proper entity and then benefiting the community and also saving something for yourself, right? And establishing the credibility too. I think you should go for it. So like forming a trust or a non-profit organization, and then the latest COVID tax reliefs, and then many more adjustments. I call this as A, B, C, D, E. I teach the same way in our academy also. A, B, C, D, E. Adjustments, benefits, credits, deductions, and then exemptions or exclusions. Okay. This is something you really need to know and discuss with a tax expert. Again, draw your attention to this book. I'm not saying this, just for the heck of it. And it's a wonderful book. Probably your friends can buy one book and read every day. Just this chapter. More important than money. Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. Now here, one of the points that he has mentioned is like the characteristics of a good tax advisor: fully educated about the tax law. Make sure you work with the right tax professional. Even when you're choosing somebody, make sure you're working with the right tax professional. Is he accessible to you? Can you talk to the person? Is the person who is working on you, is he a preparer or somebody who just does the data entry, or is he somebody who understands the tax language? He understands the tax law. Now here at iLead, we have only enrolled agents. People who are pursuing enrolled agents or people who have passed enrolled agents. So they are the ones who prepare your taxes. I mean, you're free to do your taxes from anybody. I'm just telling you, in the words of Robert Kiyosaki and our dear author Tom Wheelwright, who has written this, How to Build Massive Wealth by Permanently Lowering Your Taxes. He says that these are the characteristics that you must look for when you're hiring a tax advisor. Good tax advisor. 1, fully educated. He has given 9 points. Fully educated about the tax law. So make sure you're working with an enrolled individual. In the sense, he or she must be a CPA or an attorney or an enrolled agent, because these are the ones who have unlimited practice rights. If you're giving your file to somebody else, some online portal, good luck. We give free audit tax support also, as long as it doesn't involve any paperwork. If there's anything that we can do, you have received a notice by filing from an online portal, please get in touch with us and we'll try to help you out. And passionate about reducing your taxes, that's the second one. We are. Third one, embraces the law as an opportunity. Now, as I said, even with the COVID-19, there are so many benefits, especially for the business people. If you are a business owner, get in touch with us. We have an amazing team, who can guide you on, how to optimize. And also many more ABCD is what we mentioned here. Adjustments, benefits, credits, deductions, and exemptions or exclusions. And then focuses on permanent tax savings. So if you are somebody who wants to work, with a preparer who is like, okay, we charge this much, we charge that much, okay, and this is standard, this is itemized. So if you are somebody who is habituated to that kind of a working, I very humbly request you to please adopt and be adaptable to this new thing. Start planning your taxes, or go back to your favorite tax advisor and see if they can do all this for you. Here we teach all this. I mean, our students can watch for it. We teach them for 150 hours. So spending 15 minutes or like 15 hours also in the entire year for the 12 months, I think that's more than enough for you. And then uses creativity in applying the law in your favor, and considers the entire law when reducing taxes and not just a single rule of law. Absolutely. I mean, when we are working with somebody who is asking us, should you be on W2 or 1099, we got to ask him what's his visa status. I mean, what's his immigration status? If he's somebody on green card, I mean, forming an S corp may be good for him. Forming an LLC may be good for him, not C corp. I mean, it has its own advantages and disadvantages. At least we can make the education available to the client so that he can decide with what he wants to form. If he's okay with more compliance work, okay, fine. But let the customer be aware. Let the client be aware. Does your tax consultant tell about that? Question to ask yourself. I mean, covering from a personal tax standpoint and also from a business tax standpoint. Then, cares more about you than himself or herself. Obviously, it's going to be your tax refund. As a tax preparer, we cannot encash your check, and we are not supposed to. And ask you questions about your specific situation. So, when you call our office, our team asks you more questions. And I love you, team. Thank you very much for executing this so very well. I really love my team. And then, so please don't get irritated when they're asking you more questions. I mean, it's like when you go to doctor, I mean, the corona symptoms now, right? They said, avoid men, avoid mouth, ears, and then nose. But they ask you different questions. Okay, do you sneeze? Do you get fever? Okay, I'm feeling this, that. Do you feel anything here, right? And they got to ask you that question so that they can give you proper treatment. The same goes with taxes also. They got to ask you, sir, do you have this? Do you have that? Ma'am, do you do this? Do you do that? I mean, unless somebody asks you, I mean, you work all year long. I mean, you come a hard way. And for those of you who have come to US, you should know what efforts your parents have put, how much efforts you have put in getting that education, how much you worked hard to get into the current position where you are. So why not have an expert to safeguard that, to secure that, whoever it could be. So if they are asking you questions, the right questions, sensible questions, tax effective questions, I think you should take a moment to spend some time with them, right? And last one, willing to teach you the tax rules. And we help, so many of our H4 people who are on dependent visa also, we educate them on enrolled agent license, so that we could benefit them just with the referral and all. We try to create, some income opportunity for them. Now, the law doesn't stop anybody from paying the referral bonus at least, right? So they recommend our clients, they study the enrolled agent syllabus, they recommend this to their, the WhatsApp groups, their friends and networks, and some little income, we try to create for our dear sisters on H4 or other dependent visa also. Fine. This is about the iPlan tax expert program, what you can discuss with us. And if you need more information on how iPlan can be beneficial to you, I would encourage you to please watch this video. It says 7 things, but there are, I'm sure, there are more than 70 things in this. Okay. Now, what do you get in the iPlan? What do you get in this iPlan? Okay. Now, before that, I just wanted to tell this quote. The college graduates, Vince Shaw. Okay, he says this: college graduates, they spend 16 years gaining skills that will help them command a higher salary. Yet, little or no time is spent helping them save, invest, and grow their money. How true is that? How true is that? I just told you. Okay, fine. Why do you subscribe to iPlan tax program? Hey Nanda, come on, okay, I understand all this and I think you have given the right explanation. But why do you think, man, I should subscribe to the iPlan tax program? Now is not the tax time. Why do I do that? True. Do you prepare right before the examination or before the examination or on the date of examination? Yeah, come on. If you are somebody who studied and passed the examination, fine, okay. But this has got to do so much with the tax laws, okay. So I would encourage you to, plan your taxes way before. Now what happens is, you focus more on planning and saving taxes and not on filing and formalities, right? And then more time is given to compliance like, the ITIN, then FBAR, FATCA, NRE, and then NRO transfers. And then if you are somebody who is in US for more than a year, we are somebody who can give you comparison for last 3 years. I mean, it's good to review. It's good to review what you got last year, what are you missing this year. Does your tax consultant do that? Can he give you a 3-year comparison for the price you pay to us? And then build a multiple case scenarios, up to 3 scenarios based on the recommendations we give. We want to give you 3 scenarios. So it's up to you, which one you want to go with. And then estimate tax liability and avail tax reform changes, of the current CARES Act. And then anytime access to tax information or iPlan tax expert. So if you are making any important financial decision like what I told you earlier, And you're thinking, is it going to benefit me from a tax perspective? Nanda, should I buy it in my name or should I buy it in my company's name? Or how do I go about this? Will this really benefit me? Okay, not everything may be tax effective. Okay, not everything may be tax beneficent, but what's wrong? Just WhatsApp and know what it is. Fine. And then schedule weekly or monthly tax consultation on financial decisions. I think I just told you that. And avoid giving interest-free loan to IRS through high tax withholdings. And explore high net worth tax planning or business incorporation idea at iLead. And then iPlan tax experts, as I told you, they are enrolled agents admitted to practice before the IRS. Now, see, even this one, the financial literacy is an issue that should command our attention because many Americans are not adequately organizing finances for their education, health, and retirement. Ron Lewis. How true is that, right? You may be thinking, this is just a quote or something, so we call it as iLead Wealth. iLead Wealth because our focus is not on money but on wealth. An educated client is very easy to serve. If we are making a video like this and making it available for public, I'm sure even the peers in the industry can imitate this, right? I wish you all the very best. But see here, the financial literacy is so important. Because people miss out on how they can get benefited from the education, the health care, and the retirement, the kind of money that they are spending. I mean, that should not go in vain, right? Fine. So, I'm giving you my best. Thank you for staying connected so long. Okay. Now, here are some things about, iPlan tax program features. You can just go through it, okay? The key points I wanted to highlight here is connect with our tax expert anytime, and then we guarantee you maximum refund, and then over 400 plus tax adjustments and all are reviewed. And if you see the last three points, of course we give you unlimited tax audit support from last, it's the fifth point, unlimited tax audit support. So hold us responsible in case something goes wrong. And if you see from last third one, stop chasing CEO tax preparers or online filers. So when I say CEO tax preparer, yeah, I myself am a CEO, but still, what I wanted to say is, I feel, we are constantly engaging officers, constantly educating officers. So, I feel you must not be working with somebody who is just a tax preparer, who is a Christmas, Easter only preparer, who will call you in December, and then he says, done, right? So, our focus is not on working with that kind of the work ethics or the work culture in place. Our focus is to be with the clients. In this book, he also says, one of the things that he says that you got to discuss with your tax preparer. He gave 10 points here, but on page 308, okay. I want you to read this, okay, because so that it is substantiated. I mean, rich dad, poor dad, I'm sure you know about it, and if it is coming from a rich dad advisor, I think you should at least review, should you heed to that advice or not, okay. He says, tell your tax advisor about your dreams and goals, about your project, about your current and projected family situation, your relationship with your spouse and children, your current and projected investment, current and projected business situation, the philosophy of tax reduction, what you feel like about taxes, and so on. He has given some 10 points here. So, to cut the long story short, I feel he is speaking about, a financial advisor. He should be more like a friend. Okay, I'm planning to do this. What is your opinion? What do you think? Okay, all these things, I think anybody can put and say, okay, we do this, that, we do everything. Okay, nobody can do everything. I can't do everything. We can't do everything. Okay, but what we can do, we want to be excellent in that. We want to deliver excellence in that. Okay, and I believe you will be definitely benefited from this. Fine. Taking on now how iLead can help you. Okay, as I said earlier, I have two businesses. We run an academy and we also have an LLC with 3 locations in US, and we run here. And then We make enrolled agents, we produce enrolled agents from India. There's something about enrolled agents, so they are treated as the highest tax experts in USA. Where they pass the three examination, and they are treated at par with attorneys and then CPAs, and they have unlimited practice rights. So you can just Google more about it. And the best part about it is, if you see that box on the top right corner, it says federally licensed with unlimited rights to represent taxpayers before the IRS. Okay, and these are the works that enrolled agents do. They guide management, they remit tax payments, they prepare tax returns, they recommend strategies to minimize tax liability, and they manage tax practice, they solve tax problems and all. And in the words of my favorite mentor, watch this. He says, academic qualifications are important and so is financial education. They are both important and schools are forgetting one of them. So we don't want to be like that. Rather than not only teaching our students become enrolled agents and ensuring that they are placed in decent companies, or most of them they work with us, we also want to educate our clients. It's your hard-earned money, even if it is $1. Sometimes at $10, at a gas station, I mean, just buy that something at the dollar store. You know about it, right? So. And also the media has commended our work. I've also appeared in certain news channels and all for creating employment and for benefiting the Indians in the USA. The Hindu newspaper has spoken about us. And then there's something little about me. If you wanted to know who this fellow is, what is he talking all this? There's something about me. You can go to LinkedIn for more information. We have also been commended and appreciated by Times of India for the value that we bring in. Okay, so this is something about us, so you can trust iLead. You are in safe hands. Now, next, how much does it cost? I would rather say it as an investment. In the words of Sir Benjamin Franklin, he says, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Now, how much does a tax preparation cost? Okay, now this is what Google says, and also the tax preparation fees national averages. It says that if you have to prepare an itemized return and a state return, you got to pay $273. How much? $273. Now here, if you see Form 1040 and a state return, it says you pay 176, and if it is a Schedule C return, you pay 457. Now this is what America's #1 brand says. Okay, you file your federal tax return, they say it's free. Now you can Google how much of that is free, and you know the rest of the story. But look at the deluxe version. If you see deluxe version, it is you can do it. It is something that is self-prepared. So for the self-prepared return, this is just the federal, and it costs you 60. And if a CPA or an EA has to review your return, they charge you minimum $80. And this is for a basic return. I'm not talking about deluxe, wherein there is tax deduction, credit, and all. So this is the minimum one. Okay, and on top of that, they also charge you for the state also $50. The reason why I'm trying to say all these things, because as a customer, you need to be educated on what you're paying, how much you're paying, and what is it that you're paying for. There's nothing wrong in paying, even if you want to add a zero next to it and pay to your advisor. I mean, we have so many of our clients who send gifts to our team. You're free to do that, only if you get the value that you're looking for. Okay, and I request you to assess the value that you're getting from these online portals. But in iPlan tax program, what happens is what you pay for filing every year is what you pay for planning every month. I repeat, what you pay for filing every year is what you pay for planning every month. So by introducing this iPlan, we are not trying to make some extra money. In fact, we are giving you the tax filing for free. It's the same money what you're going to pay in February or March or April just for filing the return. We request you to give us an opportunity so that we can plan your taxes better and give you the tax filing for free, right? And then this is the investment that you would be making, and I'm sure nobody can beat us on this price. So if you're filing a federal return, it will be $2. State return, Each state would be $2, and any other service that you're looking for, it will be $1 per month. And of course, the tax filing is free, and you will not be paying a single dollar extra. And any other tax service, you can decide what all services you need. You may be somebody who may be required to file FBAR, you may be required to file FATCA. I mean, you may have some schedules, or you can also be looking for Indian tax filing also. So I leave that to you. And in my words, I feel iPlan tax programs is 100% value for money. Nobody has thought of it. So this is something that we have introduced, and I encourage you to subscribe to this. And even in this one, Sir John Rogers, he says this financial literacy is just as important in life as other basics. So you should know, what is there in your tax return. And then now, if you have been with us so far and if you're interested to subscribe to this plan, here are the steps that's involved. Contact our office. I mean, the steps you can just go through. Just text our office or call our office or WhatsApp them. They'll be happy to help you. And I just wanted to tell you, the 5 top reasons why our clients refer us. So I call this as PQRST. So we are known for the price, we are known for our quality, we are known for the refund, we are known for our service, and above all, it is the trust. So in the words of Jack Ma, he says, we are paid for our trust. I love that. So you are in safe hands. They say that the hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax, but we make it easy for you. And every T-Day, so I call it as the T-Day, Tuesday or Thursday, depending on my schedule, I come live on Facebook or YouTube. So I encourage you to please come on live. And if you have any tax question or tax topics on which you want me to make a video, I would love to make a video for you. And you can schedule a complimentary tax consultation also with our tax expert. So I'm Nanda Kumar KV, and this is all about iPlan. I hope you get benefited from it, and if there is anything else that we can do to serve you better, please feel free to call our office, and we would love to assist you. Okay, I think it's been a pleasure talking to you so far, and I think we have spoken so much about the learnings of Robert Kiyosaki also. So all said and done, I want you to start planning your taxes. Start planning your taxes. I think I've given you a detailed information about the 5 things that you must be knowing. What is iPlan? What do you get in this? How we can help you? How much it will cost you? And what's the subscription process and all. Despite all this, all that I wanted you to know, it's your money, it's your hard-earned money, and you must not miss that financial literacy. The number one problem is lack of financial literacy. So even if you're not interested in signing up for this, I want you to know what this iPlan is all about, and I want you to go back to your tax advisor and talk to them. Hey, this is something I heard of, can you do it for me? And if they can do it for you, get started, and also compare us on PQRST that I've been talking about. I think I gave you the PQRST, the price, quality, refund, service, and the trust. This is what we are known for, and we have a 100% money back guarantee also. So in case you are unhappy, you're free to walk out, right? So having said that, this is Nanda Kumar KV. So if you need more information about iPlan tax program, please feel free to contact our office. And if you are a leader, you care for your people, or if you are a HR who is looking forward to recommend employee benefits program, a wonderful employee benefits program, given the current pandemic also, to plan their taxes effectively so that they don't give the interest-free loan to IRS and they have higher monthly take-homes, I think you can recommend iPlan tax program to your team, right? Thank you very much for giving us your ears. I look forward to see you as an iPlan tax client. Take care. Bye-bye. This is Nanda Kumar.